What is up, YouTubers? It's Tahlequah and the voices in my head coming at you from the Duelist Den, and today we're going to be talking about Evenly Matched. Now, with the release of the November 6, 2017 ban list, Set Rotation, which a lot of people argue was the only out to this card, was put to limited status. So a lot of people are starting to run this card more than they already were. Now, we've seen the hype for this card as the day the ban list dropped. The price for this card jumped up by $20 to $30 depending on the site you used. Now, the question is, though, is this card really worth running in your deck? Well, we're going to find out. The main argument for this card is that it is a field wipe and that it ranks very, very highly right up there with cards such as Tahlequah and Wray. We're also going to see if that is true as well. Now, let's break this card down. First of all, as a normal trap card, the effect states that at the end of the battle phase, if your opponent controls more cards than you do, you can force your opponent to banish cards they control so they control the same number of cards as you do. And if you have no cards on the field or that you control no cards, you can activate this card from your hand. So let's break this card down. First of all, it is a normal trap card, which means it's going to be slow, all right? Because more often than not, you are going to set this card face down before you use it. Now, if you're going first and you just don't make a very big field, that could be beneficial. But if you're going second, your opponent can then use something like Twin Twister or MST or something like that to destroy this card before you have the opportunity to use it. So that's the first con, or second con. No, first con, yeah. Anyway, the second con is that you can only use this card at the end of the battle phase. Now that is a huge con because you're either A, not putting a very good monster setup on the field and risking losing a lot of life points, or you're just not putting anything on the field and risking an OTK. Third con is your opponent gets to choose which cards they banish. So they can put one, maybe two very good cards that they want on the field and a bunch of crap cards on the field, anticipating that you could use this card. Then when you use this card, they get rid of all of their crap cards they don't want, but they keep their good cards that they did want on the field. So that's the third con. The fourth con that I'm seeing with this card is that your opponent has to have more cards on the field than you do. So you're risking a very poor field, or having a very poor field just to get rid of your opponent's stuff. All right, that to me is not worth it. The pros for this card, first of all, it does get rid of a bunch of your opponent's cards. And second, if you don't control any cards, you can activate it from your hand. And that one could actually be both a pro and a con. So right now we're sitting at 5 cons and 2 pros for this card. So ask yourself, is this card really worth it? In my opinion, no. Because of the fact that the cons outweigh the pros for this card, it is not worth running. Now, in the right deck, a deck that only relies on having 1 or 2 cards on the field, yes, it could be very, very powerful. But in the majority of decks these days that like setting up huge, massive fields, no. It is not all that great, at least not in my opinion. I personally don't plan on running this card in any of my decks because of this. That's the way I see it. Cons outweigh the pros. So does this card rank as high as Wray and Tahlequah? No. Tahlequah and Wray have almost no activation cards. Tahlequah, yeah, it gets rid of your monsters too, but if you're going second, that's not a big deal because you use it the same way you use Wray, which only destroys your opponent's monsters. Now, we do have another pro for this card, putting it at 5 cons to 3 pros. This card can also get rid of things other than monsters. Alright? So overall, we are now looking at a total of 5 pros, or 5 cons, and 3 pros. Again, still, the cons are outweighing the pros. So, is this card worth running? And does it stand up with the likes of Tahlequah and Wray? In my opinion, the answer is no. But anyway, I want to know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Do you think this card does stand as high as Wray and Tahlequah? And do you think this card is worth running? Let me know down in the comments below. As always, guys, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to turn on that notification bell so you know every time a video is uploaded to the channel. But until next time, guys, it's Tahlequah and the voices in my head wanting to say Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not just a game. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is life.